morning, everyone. I'm Anita Finley, your Zoomer Times TV presenter, host, and as usual, I have very interesting guests, one of whom you have seen before, John Ahlbum, and John is the founder of the AhlbumGroup.com for the Ahlbum Group. So John Ahlbum, thank you for joining us today. You always are very sparkling and you are a businessman. How long have you actually been a businessman?
In all of it I've been in?
Yeah, all the years.
Probably 50 years, a little over 50 years.
Wow, you're certainly holding up your age well. That's fantastic. I think it's because you like people and you do what you like, right? Isn't that the key to all this?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've always said, that if you don't like what you do, it ages you.
Yes.
So let's talk about your business. If someone called the Ahlbum Group, what are they going to find? I know it's not a restaurant. What is it?
They're going to get either Liz or Lauren in the office, who will find out what they're looking for, and then either transfer the call or email their information to either me or another agent who can contact them and help them with whatever they need. And we do that very timely. If a call comes in, one of my rules is you've got to call them back that day. Unless
Absolutely.
at the very end of the day and whoever the agent's getting it is on their way to, dinner or something else, but then they have to call them back first thing in the morning.
Okay, so what are people looking for when they call you? Do they think you're an HMO? What do they think? Of course, we have the ad in Boomer Times.
The funny thing is that most of the calls we get are either from an existing client with a question or a referral from an existing client. And they'll call and say, I'm Mary Jones and Mary Smith, who's in the same apartment building with me, told me that she's been with you a long time and that you guys are excellent, and I'd like to see about switching my coverage over to you and things like that. So.
Okay, so switching coverage, what do they have? So let's say they've had some insurance plan, they're 70 years old. What do they typically have?
Well, some of them, amazingly enough, a lot of people at 70 are just coming off their employer plans. People retire at 65 like they used to, religiously. So a lot of people in their later 60s, early 70s are finally retiring, or their spouse is older and they've been on their spouse's plan and he or she is about to retire too, and they want to get information for both of them, about a supplement. And when that happens, they're a guaranteed issue because in leaving a group plan that was credible coverage. If they don't have Part B already, we'll send them the forms so they can file for Part B for Medicare, and they can go to and get them to sign off on the fact that they've been employed all these years continuously. And then Medicare sees it as a credible coverage and usually gets them issued within 30 to 40 days for their Part B.
But John, can they stay on their employer's insurance if they want, even if, they have to get off?
In some cases, as I say, the one spouse is still employed, the other could be retired, and a lot of husband and wives, the husband is still working, they're both on the same plan. When he retires, in some cases, the employer would let him stay if he paid the premium. But in a lot of cases, the premium that he's now paying instead of the employer paying is a lot more expensive and than if he went on Medicare. And a lot of the group plans are developing bigger and bigger and bigger deductibles. So the out-of-pocket is greater if somebody stayed on a group plan. The fact that somebody's paying the premium for them makes it very attractive. But once the premium's not being paid anymore, then the group plan generally isn't the affordable answer anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about Cobra in a minute. I just want everyone to know my guest is John Ahlbum, and he is the founder of the ahlbumgroup.com. And well, the Ahlbum Group, but if you want to get him on the web, it's ahlbumgroup.com. And I'm going to spell Ahlbum. It's a little different. It's AHLBUM. And let me give you his phone number at 877-970-4760.
That's right.
That's right, correct? Okay. Okay. So now let's go and talk about Cobra. Some people say they've been on Cobra for a year. What is that all about?
Well, Cobra is a way that, in some cases, is subsidized by their former employer, but when they retire, they're offered Cobra as a continuation of their group insurance. The big drawback with that is that Medicare doesn't recognize Cobra as being credible coverage. So if they're on Cobra or gonna go on Cobra, they should still enroll in Part B Medicare if all they're paying is just for the Part B. Medicare is not paying for anything else. The Cobra's primary. Medicare doesn't recognize Cobra. So if they go on Cobra for 2 years, Medicare is going to penalize them for the 2 years that they were in Part B.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's why I recommend when somebody's turning 65 or even when they're turning 64, they should call you and you could explain all these things to them.
Right.
You can ask them what they're on now, what they can afford, right? That's what they should do. That's why I think it's smart. Just like when they get on Social Security. I think there's a lot to do with Social Security that you probably can tell them too that they may not know. Like if they can hold out till 70, it's better for the difference in money and a lot of stuff, right?
Yes. And we try to help them every way we can when they come in with us. So, or when they talk to us, whether they're a client or not.
Yeah. Well, you're a consultant, I would say. You're an insurance consultant besides being the owner of Ahlbum Group. And that's nice to have. That's why I've always been so happy that we work together because I trust you. And I know that you are going to tell them the right thing, even if it doesn't mean any clients for you. At least you're good. And as you said, you get a lot of referrals because, people can rely on you for the truth.
And my wife Donna does the same thing. I mean, she's on the phone with somebody for like an hour and a half. Options of this, options of that. And when she's done, she'll look at me and say, well, maybe in a couple of years, that's a client, or something like, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
It isn't a matter of just getting them to sign their name right away. It's giving them the best choices we could possibly give them so that they've got something to think about and something to consider and they can do the right thing for themselves.
Mm-hmm. So the whole insurance business is big and it is separated by regular insurance, life insurance, health insurance, and then insurance for seniors, right? I mean, it's in a lot of categories, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way. Well, basically, a lot of people consider the Medicare market as being just health insurance, as a branch of health insurance. And in a way it is. But you're right, senior insurance is different than somebody that's 35 going on, looking for a group plan or an individual plan.
Is the price less if two people in the family are with you?
No.
It's the same.
Well, a male and a female are a different rate, and it's all based on their age at the time of issue. So a husband and wife could be the same age, and he's going to be a little bit more money than she is. So
what you're saying is that people should start this policy as soon as they can, because then they're in a different rate as another 10 years. If they first joined, it was going to be higher.
Right. Well, in Florida is what they call an issue age state, meaning that if you join a supplement at age 65 when you first become eligible for Medicare. You will be paying the same thing that a 65-year-old would pay if you lived to be 105. Your premium doesn't go up just because you have a birthday every year. There are states that are called attained age states.
A what?
Attained age, ATT.
Oh, attained age, attained age, okay.
And those states do give you a birthday present every year until you're 81 because you get a rate increase every year on your birthday.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Florida's not that way, but
it's still a rate increase. But what's so neat about Florida is you're also, if you stay with the same company, say you start with a plan, maybe a plan N with United American when you're 65. And 5 years down the road, you say, I don't like this $20 copay at the doctors and stuff. Could I qualify for plan G? And we can put an application in, and if they qualify, they can go to a plan G, but they'd still be 65 years old as far as premium goes.
mm-hmm.
And if they don't change to anything else along the way, they'll stay 65 forever on the new plan too. So.
Well, you bring up a very interesting point. All these plan A, B, C, D, and everything. Can you take a little time and go over that? Because we've never done that before, I don't think.
Well, it's much easier if anybody has questions. I mean, you've got actually plans A through K in with some companies. We offer A, B, C, D, F, G, and N as United American. And we also are one of the few companies in the country that nationwide offers a high deductible version of the F and a high deductible version of the N, of the G. Meaning you have a lower premium, but you have a $2,370 deductible you have to meet before the plan pays 100%. Plans C and F, if you weren't eligible for Medicare on January 1st, 2020, you can't get. But you can get a G or a high deductible G or any of the other plans. But the C and the F were the only two that paid the Part B deductible. So Medicare decided that people that had the Part B deductible paid were going to run to the doctor too often because they didn't have to worry about the deductible for some reason.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So they did away with it starting then. The A and the B years ago were kind of popular, but they're not really anymore because premium-wise, they're so close to the other plans and their amount of coverage is so limited that they're there to fill in a column in the line, but I don't think anybody's selling either one of them anymore. And the most popular plans right now are the G, the HDG, the high deductible G, and the N plan. The N has the only drawback with the N is that even though it's a lower premium, you have a $20, up to a $20 copay at every doctor's visit with no cap on it. It isn't like after you've paid $20,000 out of pocket or $2,000 out of pocket or whatever, it's copay stop. The copay runs forever.
I see.
But it does have the other benefits, that most of the good plans offer with, hospital coverage and 100 days of skilled nursing and all of those kinds of things. And it's a lower premium. And a lot of people are opting for that because they don't have to worry about meeting the deductible on, say, the high deductible plan. if they're hospitalized or something, they don't have to shell out the almost $1,500 deductible to go in the hospital. So there's advantages to all of them, but the best way for anybody to, really find out what the differences are and what the benefits are and how it affects them is to call us, and we'll go over it, and we'll send them a chart that shows them the differences, a Medicare approved chart that we have.
Right.
They can make their choice from there.
So I'm going to tell you again, my guest is, he's a famous insurance man here in South Florida, and it's John Ahlbum, AHLBUM. And if you go online, you'll go to the ahlbumgroup.com, and his phone number, 877-970-4760. So cancel anything else I said before. 877-970-4760. You'll want to call. You may get to talk to John. You may get to talk to one of the some of his other representatives, but they all will give you the right information, and you can wait and talk to John Ahlbum, AHLBUM. So John, now that with the COVID, is it affecting your insurance? Is it affecting anything that you've done now?
Like all the other businesses, I think, in the world or in the country, it's slowed us down. Our business has slowed down a tad. But what is really affecting is the fact that we've done electronic appointments or virtual appointments for years, before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always, 1 out of 3 people, just because of human nature, would prefer to meet the person they're dealing with and sit down, across the table, face to face, so they can answer questions, get to know each other, and do everything. And that part of the business is slacked way off. Although we do occasionally have somebody come in the office and sit at the conference table, because the conference table is wide and we have social distancing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the choices we have. And we've had cases where the people come on down to our house. We got a big backyard. It's a nice day. That kind of thing. So that works too.
That's very nice. So you've opened up your home gardens for people to go and do it. That says a lot about you. I know your wife works with you here.
People just feel that they're confused about Medicare, and if we can come sit with them and show them in writing what's what,
mm-hmm.
to look at, it'll answer their questions and they'll feel good about doing something. But
right.
Doing it with somebody over the phone or doing even a Zoom meeting or something, they're not happy
mm-hmm.
with that. They want to be able to feel like they're really in the know, so to speak,
I understand. Right.
Yeah, and I do too.
So, yeah, I mean, I have been a customer, I don't call it a customer, a client of John Ahlbum, and I don't even know if I'm A, B, C, D, whatever I am, but I know that I've been covered very well, and I know that the rate increase has been so minimal, and we talked about that before, but let me give him your phone number one more time. It's 877-970-4760. Write that down. You can tattoo it on your arm. I don't care what you do with it, but get it there, because you are going to get other calls. The insurance industry is making a lot of calls. They call me all the time, not for this, but even for other things. Have I had my shot? Have I had this and that?
Yeah.
So you don't do that. Go to someone who's reliable. You've been seeing him on the ZOOMERTIMES TV. You've been reading about him in our Boomer Times. So make sure that you just say no thank you to these people whom you don't know. And it's John Ahlbum, and again, it's 877-970-4760, or go online to ahlbumgroup.com. I don't know, and it's unfair of me to ask you what my situation is, but I've been with you a long time, and I trust you, and you gave me, I guess, very good advice.
You have a plan has the first letter of his name in it. You have a plan F.
That's good. That's interesting to know, right?
And the plan F is the Cadillac or the Lexus or whatever you want to call them of all the plans, but that's one of the ones that anybody that is a newcomer or just turning 65 isn't eligible for because they weren't 65 or older on January 1st, 2020. The G is the next one down, and the only difference between the G and the F really is that somebody has to pay the Part B deductible out of pocket before the plan and Medicare kick in, where with the F, it's paid for by the policy. With the G, you have to pay the $204 Part B deductible, and then you're covered at 100% for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Confusing. That's why we need you.
Yeah, and that's why it's much easier when we can sit with somebody and show them on paper the difference, you know, it just, and I can't wait till the old normal comes back when you can do things like that.
The what? The old normal?
The old normal.
Uh-huh.
People
Okay.
tell me now,
So-
oh, this is the new normal, and I know it's not.
Ah,
This is a short
you know,
normal.
yeah, right. I got it. It's true. Well, there are other supplemental, there are a lot of HMOs, but there are a couple of other companies that do sell supplemental too, right?
Yes, oh, there's quite a few.
Are there?
Mhm. But
Okay.
we pride ourselves on one of the biggest things I think that we can really pat ourselves in the back for is that every one of our policies comes with an agent. Where a lot of the other companies, yes, an agent will sell you do the application for you. But the minute the policy is issued, that agent's gone. The company policy doesn't allow the agent to talk to you anymore. You have to talk
Really?
to a customer service representative who you probably will never talk to twice, so you never get the same answer twice.
Huh.
We pride ourselves on the fact that even if somebody calls the home office and asks a question, a lot of times they'll say, well, you have to call your agent. Here's his number.
Amazing. Yep. Yeah, that's a wrong, I don't know why they do that. It seems silly because they could get better referrals and whatever they're doing. But anyway,
Right.
well, you know, John, you run your business so well. It's so credible and people talk about it. I know I've referred quite a few of my friends there, and you're one of the stars. And with the seniors, everyone has to really be just extra careful. People don't always hear so well. They don't see so well. And you have to trust, and you have to ask how long John's been around. You can call me, and we certainly appreciate you, John. So thank you very much for another
You guys.
another star interview. Again, I'm going to tell you it's 877-970-4760 is the
You got
phone
it.
number. Make the call even if you're not ready. Just ask what's going on, and they'll tell you everything they can. There's no charge. And I think you'll really like United American Insurance. That's really what he sells, United American Insurance. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.